as the young people said, they nearly all said, use the same phrase, we were born into freedom. We were born into freedom. We don't even know, for us, apartheid is just from a textbook. And it struck me how quickly it had been forgotten.
Although born in England, artist Sue Williamson's work is heavily influenced by her family's move to South Africa in 1949 when she was 7. Educated at the Art Students League of New York with an advanced diploma in fine art from Cape Town's Michaelis School of Fine Art, her work as a printmaker has grown to include archival photography, mixed media installations, constructed objects and video. Well known for her portraits of women involved in South Africa's political struggle, Williamson's work engages with themes related to memory and identity formation, and has now grown to embrace social issues on a global scale. In 1997, she established Artthrob, a United Nations Best Cultural Website nominated publication featuring contemporary South African artists. We caught up with Sue in Cape Town, where mountains meet the ocean.
I started art wanting to be a journalist, in fact, not an artist. When I came back to South Africa from New York, I was again struck by the unfairness, the injustice of society in South Africa, how badly the apartheid system affected the whole country. Of course, the people who were suffering the most were black people, but white people were kind of dragged into every single black person had to carry a pass all the time. Any time they were in public, which they would have to produce if they were stopped and asked on the street, where's your pass? So that it was a terribly unfair system. I felt that I concentrated on struggle activities because I was living in this country. But if I was going to live here, I couldn't really live here without trying to do something about changing things in whatever way that I could. If you take an activist approach, you believe that whatever you do, even if it's, you realize that what you may do may be very small, it might not mean much. It might do very little, but even if you change something a little bit, even if you change one person's mind, it can help. So that's why I did it. The apartheid government thought that the situation of District 6 between the mountains and the sea was too nice for anybody but white people, and they saw it as a very desirable area for whites to move in. So they declared that everybody else must go. And that process went on over probably 10 years. They'd knocked down a few houses here and a few there. And gradually the area just emptied out. I'm interested in how things change as they go along. So the Last Supper, the very first piece, was made while District 6 was being demolished. And I literally picked up rubble off the demolition sites and put it in the middle of a gallery and put 6 chairs around and draped the chairs in white. And I made a tape of people's voices talking about District 6, the sounds of the bulldozers and the calls from the mosque, the sounds of people praying, stories, all sorts of things, just the sounds of District 6. And that played while these chairs were seated around the rubble. So you had the silence of the chairs, the voices in the background, and the rubble was the meal.
My voice is not clear. Rebecca Kotani, 101.
My name is Nompumelelo Kotane. Rebecca Kotane is my grandmother. They got arrested by the police, got taken to a police station called Number 4.
I'm Ilse Fischer. I'm about to turn 70.
I'm Tandy Lewin. I'm about to turn 40.
All Our Mothers is a series of black and white photographs. I took some of them in the first place because I was using them as a preparation for the photo etchings I was making in the A Few South African series. But I mean, I was meeting a lot of women and I like taking photographs, and so that they are photographs that I've taken at various points over the years, starting from, I think the first one was 1981, until, well, right up to now. And at the same time, I wondered how young people in the country were feeling about it and whether they knew about their grandmother's histories and whether they valued those histories, what it meant to them to be the granddaughters of those women activists. And I decided that it would be very interesting to set up a series of conversations. Cape Town is my city. I feel very free here. I mean, I think there are things that could be better, but I think it's an extraordinary place.